Hello artists, Mrs. Castle here, and we're going to learn some things about oil pastels. We're going to learn one about how to use them, like blending, and oil pastel, OP for short, care. How to care for them and use them properly. That's an important part of being an artist, learning how to care for your materials. Second thing we're going to learn, we are going to make an oil pastel color wheel. I know you did this with the colored pencil, but this is good practice for blending, and blending will be required if you use oil pastels for your final project. So we're going to practice. Hi guys, Mrs. Castle here, and we're going to talk about oil pastels. Oil pastels are pretty easy to use. They're like crayons, but they're a little bit softer, actually a lot softer, and are much more blendable. They are made to be blended and mixed with each other to make new colors. Actually, I'm just going to play on the paper. And I'm going to show you a couple of things, hang on, about how to use the pastels. So I needed to grab some tissues. Anyway, pastels come in a lot of different size boxes. This happens to be a box of 16. Some of the boxes I have been used, other boxes haven't. So I'm going to try to kind of spread them around so everybody gets a chance to use some new ones, and we'll have some old ones. I also have some extra ones that I will set out, like the colored pencils, and if you run out of a color that you need, you can go to the extras and find the color that you want. So, how to use pastels. That base is pretty easy. But the key is to press lightly. I like to color in circles because that helps fill in a little bit quicker, and it looks smoother after you're finished filling in whatever shape that you're doing. So start lightly. See, there are those little crumbs on my finger that I picked up from the oil pastel. That means that the surface of the paper, the tooth, the roughness of the paper isn't going to take, can't take any more oil pastel. And the more I try to put on there, the more of these little crumbs there are, like right there. So if you start lightly, you can layer up more color and blend more colors. The white works a little better, or a lot better than the colored pencil, to blend and make a lighter shade. Not lighter shade, make a tint, a color plus, my bad, a color plus white equals a tint. Now, I've used the white on the green, so now there's green on my white, and I'm going to use a tissue, and I'll also get some paper towels in the classroom, and just wipe off that little bit of green so it's clean for the next mixture that I want to make. So for most of what we're going to do, the next 2 assignments, actually 3, we'll do 3 assignments, 2 practice assignments, oil pastel number 1 and oil pastel number 2. You're going to be mixing colors most of the time. So no matter what color you're using, whether it's light or dark, whatever your color you're using first, make sure that you're pressing very lightly. You can color in strokes like you would with a crayon or colored pencil, or you can do the little swirlies. Whichever way you feel most comfortable is fine. And then when you use your next color, also go lightly. So press lightly until you are close to the color that you want. So if I'm making a blue-green color here, depending on whether I want it to be more blue or more green, you know, makes a difference. Sorry, my dog Zara is flipping my elbow. Sometimes a little needy. That was my little dog Dash. So it works both ways, whether you're coloring in typical strokes or whether you are coloring in little swirlies. Press lightly until you get the color that you want to mix, that you wanted to mix. You are not limited to 2 colors. You'll see in the video, the third video, and I don't know if you can see it on there, but there's blue on my green pastel now. So to clean it off, I can use, that reminds me there was another way I wanted to show you. You can use a tissue or a paper towel to just wipe it off. Or you can have a piece of scrap paper and actually, oops, I just threw the blue on the floor. If I use red, and then I want to make my red darker, instead of using black, I'm going to use some green. Green is the complement. It's opposite the red on the color wheel, and it makes a nice dark red compared to a regular red. That's good for shadows. So now I've got red on my green, so I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper and I'm just going to kind of wipe it off. This takes longer than using a paper towel or a tissue to just wipe it off, because it's softer and you can wrap it around the end of the, I don't have much green on there. Never do this on the back of your paper, okay? Because it'll smear all over somebody else's work and they won't be happy. Or theirs will smear on the back of yours and you won't be happy. So that's the basics of oil pastel. Press lightly and layer up your colors until you get the color or effect that you want. And you are not limited to 2 colors, and you'll see that when we go to do colored or oil pastel number 2. Okay. All right. Can't wait to see what you make. Have fun. Bye-bye.